White Mountain Christian School. Thank you so much for joining us for our first ever virtual online back to school nights. Usually we meet here in person at the school. This year we're on YouTube. Woo! So, thank you for joining us. We're going to dive right in. There's going to be some things that are different this year, so please follow along. Please pay attention so that you have an idea of what this year is going to look like. I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to this school year.
All right, the first thing that we've got to jump into is our mission statement. This is the heart of who we are and what we do in our community here in the White Mountains. Mountain Christian School seeks to partner with parents who desire their children to know biblical truths and receive quality academic education integrated with a Christian worldview. Now, there's two purposes there that I want to kind of draw your focus to really quickly. We are here to provide a quality academic education. We are a school. We are passionate about providing the best possible education that we can for our students. But the secondary purpose, and equally important to us, is we are integrating that education with a Christian worldview, a Bible-based, Christ-focused Christian worldview that will prepare our students for the world ahead of them, for what they're going to face as they go into high school. Now, both of those are equally important. We are a school. We want to provide the best education we can, and we also want to integrate it with a Christ-focused worldview that is going to permeate everything that we are teaching the kids. Now, that is who we are, and that's what we do. Now, how do we do it? And that's the key to the very first part of this. We do it by partnering with the parents. In any year, that is important because we want to work with you. We want to partner with you as parents to be able to provide that academic education, to be able to integrate it with a Christian worldview. However, this year it is more crucial than ever before. We need you. We need that partnership with you as parents to be able to accomplish this. Now, that mission statement encompasses really well who we are, what we do, and how we do it is partnering with you. But this year it's going to be looking a little bit different. The how is going to be looking a little bit different. How we're going to be doing it is changing slightly because of everything that's going on in our culture. That's okay. And so as we go into this year and as we are looking ahead, things are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to walk through some of those things tonight, and we ask that as you are partnering with us and we are working hard with you to provide this education for your students, we ask that you are patient with us, that we are able to be flexible as we are working together to provide that education, to integrate it with a Christian worldview. Let's do this together. We are going to figure this out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just jump through these next couple sections pretty quickly. I want to take a moment to introduce our 2020-2021 school board really quickly. Some of these names might look a little bit different. You can imagine them standing up and waving to the crowd, as I would call their name. Mr. Norm Callett is our president this year, and the other members of the board include Susan Rodriguez, Elise Ironside, Ben Brewer, Mike Boucher, Vanette Stuber, and Trish Lawler. A huge thank you to all of our school board members. If you see them around, please thank them for all they do for our school. All right, our 2020-21 staff I would go through like we would usually. However, Miss Shayna DeCruz has created an awesome video introducing our staff. If you haven't had a chance to check this out yet, look it up on YouTube. It's on our Facebook. It's on our Instagram. Please check it out. It kind of introduces who our staff team is this year. I'm really, really excited about our team that we have in place this year. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into what I know you are so excited to hear me talking about, our COVID-19 reopening plan. We are reopening this fall for both in-person and remote learning options. I'm going to talk about those separately, so let's focus first on our in-person education. We believe really strongly that it is good for students socially, academically, emotionally to be in class with their teacher, with other students. So what is that going to look like? We're opening August 17th based, and this is really important, on a healthy-only framework. Now what that means is that everybody who comes on campus, students, staff, parents, volunteers, we are going to be doing everything within our power to make sure that they are coming onto campus healthy and not exhibiting symptoms of COVID. Now, we work on doing that every single year. We want our kids to be healthy and we want our staff to be healthy, but we are going to be redoubling that this year. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to not only protect our students who are attending the school, we want to be able to protect our staff and our teachers who are in higher risk categories. How are we going to do that? We're going to be doing daily screenings, and those screenings include a temperature check and a symptoms check. What that's going to look like is every day, someone's going to come out to your car when you're dropping your kid off. They are going to come to you, and we're going to do a really quick temperature check. This should take 10 seconds. We're going to take their temperature, write it down. We're looking for a temperature below 100.4. And we are going to do a quick basic symptoms check. How are they feeling? Have they been exhibiting symptoms? Thumbs up, thumbs down, yes or no? We really need for you as parents to be honest with us, to partner with us in this. And then we're going to go ahead and let the student into the school. Now, we are going to be also asking that you sign a waiver at the very beginning of the year. And this waiver is basically just saying, hey, I as a parent acknowledge that there is still some risk that goes into my student coming in person. And I acknowledge that MCS is going to be doing everything that they possibly can on their end, but there's still going to be some level of risk. And I'm willing to partner with MCS. I'm willing to work with them as we try to create this healthy-only campus. So we're going to ask you to get that signed before the first day of school. Please sign that and scan it back to us. You will find that in your email that went home this last week. It's also going to be on our website. So please download that, sign it, bring it. You can even bring it on the first day of school. We'll pick it up from your car if that's the easiest thing. Now, that healthy-only framework, we are going to be watching out carefully for COVID-19 symptoms. And those are, and I'm sure you have not heard enough about these symptoms, but fever, chills, dry cough, shortness of breath, body aches, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea. Woohoo! Like I said, I'm sure you've heard more than enough about those symptoms in the last few months. Now, we totally understand that those symptoms are also symptoms of probably a dozen other things, and we know that. However, because of COVID-19, because of the effect on our community, and because we are creating a healthy-only campus, we are going to be working really hard. And if students are exhibiting any of these symptoms, we are going to ask that they not come on campus. Instead, they're going to be able to enroll, and they're going to be able to be part of the online learning platform, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But we are going to be working hard as staff, as teachers, to watch for these symptoms, and as soon as we see some of these symptoms, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call you, or we're going to go ahead and send the student home right away. Now, those symptoms, after they are symptom free, we ask that you wait 24 hours before returning to the school campus. That is the same policy that we've had in place for the last few years. We have worked with our local health department to develop this plan, and our local health department has recommended 24 hours symptom free. That does not mean that they are coughing less or that their fever has gone down a little bit. It means it is gone. Coughing is gone. It means that those symptoms are not present anymore for a full 24 hours before they're going to be allowed back on campus. And again, this is where we are really, really going to need your help. We are going to be doing everything we possibly can on our end to sanitize, to clean, to keep our campus safe. But we really need your help to help us keep the students healthy and healthy kids on campus only. And we need your partnership with that. So thank you in advance, but please keep your kids home until 24 hours after they have been symptom free. All right, so we got the healthy only framework. The next really important part of this plan is we are going to be keeping separate class units. In other words, we are going to be minimizing interactions between classes. So our first graders, we're going to be doing everything we can to minimize the interactions between our first graders and our second graders. And that way, if there is some kind of sickness that is passing between students, we're going to try to contain it within class units and not have the whole school exposed to whatever it is. Part of that is going to be sanitizing common areas multiple times throughout the day. Part of that is each one of the class groups. Our first grade is going to be going to lunch, going to recess, going to music and PE at separate times from other classes, and we're going to be trying to do everything we can to minimize interaction between class groups. Now, a huge important way that we're going to be doing that is through the use of masks. We're going to be working really hard to make sure the students, while they're in class, while they're working, while they're interacting with teachers, do not have to wear their masks. However, when they leave the classroom, when they're going out into the hallway, when they're going out to the bathroom, when they're going to a common area, the students need to make sure they put their mask on first. We are going to require masks in those common areas. But when they get back to class, they can go ahead and take them off. Or when they go outside for recess with their class unit, they won't have to wear those masks outside. In this way, we are going to be hopefully minimizing the spread of any kind of anything and minimizing those interactions between class groups. Okay, let's jump into our remote learning plan. So for our remote learning plan this year, we wanted to give our families an option, especially if they have a high-risk family member at home, of being able to be involved in the MCS community remotely. And how we're going to accomplish that is, first of all, using the Google Classroom platform. And that will be available to all students in the class. Assignments are going to be posted daily for the students in the class. If they forget their planner at home, they can check that out at home. When they get home, they can go log on to Google Classroom and see the assignments that are posted there. Now that is going to be available for everybody. If a student is homesick or they're being quarantined, they can log on to Google Classroom and see their assignments for the day, see their homework for the day, and see everything so that they don't miss anything. Now, we're also going to be providing live instruction. Now this is going to be available for 4 to 5 hours per day. It's going to be covering our core subjects, the math, the English language arts, science, social studies, Bible. Each class is going to be providing live instruction. Now this is going to be available for remote learning students, specifically quarantined students or students homesick for longer than 2 school days. So in other words, any of those students, if something happens during the year and we have to quarantine a group of students or a couple students, they will have access to that live instruction where they will be interacting with the teacher in their class and getting the same lessons that an in-person class student would get. And we're going to be able to provide that for our families who opt into that, or for our quarantine students, or for students who are home longer than 2 days sick. I am so excited to announce that we are going to be working with Miss Alicia DeCruz this year. She is going to be acting as our remote learning coordinator. Now before you ask, yes, she is Miss DeCruz's sister. Shayna DeCruz worked with us as a 3rd grade teacher for several years, and her sister, Miss Alicia DeCruz, is going to be joining our staff in the remote learning coordinator position, and we are so excited to have her. If you have any questions about remote learning, please contact her, and you can reach her at remote@mcsaz.org. She's going to be the one who's handling a lot of the remote learning questions and going to be working in support of our teachers to make sure that we are able to provide our community with the best possible remote learning experience. Okay, let's jump into drop-off. The times are going to be very similar to what they have been in years past. At 7:45, drop-off is going to begin. At 8 o'clock, the students will be counted tardy. 8:05, parents are going to actually have to bring their students and sign a slip before we're going to go ahead and admit them to their classes. Now, there is going to be some grace and some flexibility as we're figuring out the screening process, but these are going to be, in general, the times that we're going to be looking for. We want the students to be arriving before 8 o'clock, and honestly, if you are in the parking lot waiting for your student to be screened and sent into the school, that is totally fine. We aren't going to mark them tardy. Alright, so drop-off is going to be similar to years past, and when you come in from the opposite side and go ahead and pull your car forward, just like we have in years past. Now, screeners are going to be coming to your car in the morning, and when they come to your car, they're going to lean in, they're going to take the student's temperature, they're going to ask a couple of questions about symptoms, and then at that point, after they've given the student the thumbs up, students can go ahead and leave the cars and head to the school entrance where they will be admitted to the school. And after that point, you can go ahead and leave through the first entrance. Now it's the same as in years past, other than the screening process. Drop off and pick up. Now when you are checking students out, please do it through the office. Please not let the school know in advance. Go ahead and just give us a call and let us know that you're going to be checking your student out, and we will make sure that their absent work is listed on Google Classroom so that they have access to it, and we'll probably just dismiss them to the parking lot when you arrive. Alright, for pickup, again, it's going to be a similar format. You're going to come to the second entrance of the school, pull your car in. Now, students are going to be lined up in front of the school, and we are going to be dismissing them one at a time to your car when we see you. Now, we are not going to let students go to you or if you're parked in the parking lot. That is not safe. We are not going to be letting students cross traffic. They are going to be able to come to your car and only when we see you and we have dismissed them. If you want to come pick up your student, you need to come from the parking lot and come actually pick them up and take them with you across the flow of traffic. And of course, the same times are going to be observed: 2:58 end of day, 3 o'clock to 3:15 is the parent pickup. Okay, so the last area that we're really going to touch on in this virtual back to school night is we're going to talk for 1 second about finances. I'm going to go ahead and just read this really quickly. This is outlined in our MCS handbook. If you haven't got an MCS handbook, please come pick one up in the office. This is what it says. Tuition payments are due on the first of each month. If the first falls on a non-school day, payment is due on the next school day. Any tuition paid after the 10th of each month will be considered late and may result in a $5 per day late charge with a maximum of $50. Any account that becomes 1 month delinquent may result in the suspension of the student or students until the account is paid unless special arrangements are made with the MCS school board. A written notice will be sent home 5 days prior to the end of the month advising that the child will be withheld from class if the account is past due. In past years, we have tried to be as flexible as possible with allowing parents to wait for tax credits to come in at the end of the year. However, we, for this coming school year, are changing our policy just a little bit, and we are going to be expecting a payment, tuition payments every month from every one of our families. If you are having trouble making a tuition payment, please come talk to us. We are willing to work with you. We are willing to help you find scholarships. There are a lot of scholarships available to provide financial assistance for students in our school. So please come and talk to us. We really do want to work with you on this. However, we are going to be expecting each family to be doing tuition payments regularly unless you have some kind of special arrangement with the MCS school board, and you can come talk to us about that. Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this virtual back to school night. A huge thank you to all of you who have made it this far in the video, and thank you to all of you who have enrolled students in Mountain Christian School. We are so excited to be able to partner with you for this coming school year. We are so excited to be able to serve the White Mountains here in Arizona. We're excited for what the 2020-2021 school year looks like, and we'll see how it goes, but we are so excited to have you as part of our community. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.